Hello, my name is Gerda Muller. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm a fellow group private practice owner, and I'm a private practice success business coach and mentor. And today I want to talk to you about provisional psychologists and hiring provisional psychs into your group private practice. Now, I'm a part of quite a number of Facebook communities, including my own. If you're not in there, you need to get into it. But there's various Facebook communities that I'm a part of. I also speak to people that email me and direct message me on a daily basis. And a lot of people are currently thinking about how they could incorporate provisional psychologists into their private practice in a way that's smooth, that's as simple and as easy as possible, and that's going to help them make some money, but ultimately so that they can service their waitlist. And I find that a lot of the motivation behind provisional psychologists and getting them into people's practices is because of the current difficulty that a lot of people are experiencing when it comes to recruiting fully registered psychologists into their private practice. Now, I can do a whole other video and talk around that issue. If you are needing fully registered psychologists in your private practice, please do reach out to me, because that is what I've been teaching for the last 3 months in the Private Practice Success Academy. People are getting amazing results in there. So you can most certainly recruit, irrespective of where you are located in Australia, fully registered psychologists. However, you might still want to consider bringing provisionals in. And the first thing that I would say is, if you have been considering bringing in provisional psychologists, because maybe you have been trying to recruit and you're not in the PPS Academy and everybody can't be in there, and maybe you have really been struggling, right? And you've now gotten to that place where you've gone, okay, last resort, I need to get a provisional psych in to help me because I hear other people talking about this as an option. So my first piece of advice for you is this: do not bring provisional psychologists into your private practice if it is coming from a place of desperation. I mean, desperation is never a good look, doesn't matter in what circumstances, but you do not want to take in a provisional psychologist out of desperation, because things might change in 6 or 12 months. You might all of a sudden hire 3 fully registered psychologists, right? And what happens to your provisional psych then? You really only want to take on provisional psychologists if you see that provisional psychologist as part of what it is that you want to do and achieve at your practice. As long as you see them as part of an integral part, really, of your practice team, if you can see them fulfilling a specific service or core function in your business, you want to be able to see how they're going to contribute, right, to the practice and to the clients. But you also maybe want to consider the amazing opportunity that you have, including the rest of your clinical team, to support an aspiring psychologist into getting their full registration. And let's face it, we've all been there. We've all been at that place where we just cannot wait for that day to get our full registration. And I, for one, love being part of that process. I hired my first provisional psychologist probably, I'm guessing, but it's like 8 years ago now. And ever since then, I've always had at least one provisional psychologist on the team at any point in time. Sometimes we've had 2. Currently, we have 3, and we are actually building towards having a team of 6 provisional psychologists at the practice. And we can do that because we know what our org structure looks like. We are expanding to a 10-room practice within the next 6 months. So it's part of our plan. It's part of the business plan for us, for example, in my practice, to have a team of provisional psychologists, and again, contribute to the industry and to the profession in this manner. But we are also very clever, and we know how to use them well at the practice, so they get to meet all their competencies and we get to help more people while still making money at the same time. I hear a lot of people say that, I'm happy to take on provisionals as long as I can break even. I go to hell with that, right? You shouldn't do anything in your practice with the goal of just breaking even. That is not running your practice as a business, and that is setting yourself up for failure. You do not want to do that. So you want to get this right. So I've been really racking my brain and thinking, what can I give my community? First and foremost, within the private practice success community. And I'll also, of course, share this with my email list. But what can I give you guys? It's going to really help you take this step. Really go, okay, if this is aligned for me to have provisional psychologists at the practice, and is not from a place of desperation, but I can see them being part of our organization, our service offering. And yes, hopefully once they finish their +2 or +1 here, they can become a fully fledged team member, right? Once I know that it is aligned, what do I need to do? What is the stuff that I need that can help me take those actions? So I've decided, as part of the resource of the week offering for you, to put together what I'm going to refer to as my provisional psychologist bundle. Okay, so this is a little bundle of documents and resources and stuff that you're going to need to get this process started. So I'm going to talk you through what it is that you can get as part of this bundle. So let's hop on over to my iPad for this one. Okay, so we are calling this the Provisional Psychologist Bundle. So bundle really means it's a bunch of stuff that I'm putting together for you to use to make your life as easy as possible as you venture into hiring maybe your very first provisional psychologist. So what I'm going to give you is the following. I'm going to give you 1 times casual employment contract. Okay. Because the majority of you will be starting your provisional psychologist off in a casual basis. That's actually what I recommend, right? I think a lot of people go, oh, I can't take on a provisional because I don't have like 5 days worth of work for them. Or you go, they're not going to have 5 days worth of clients and therefore I'm going to make a loss. Well, that's a mental block. You don't have to start them off 5 days or even 4 days or even 3 days. You can start them off 1 day or even half a day a week. And therefore, I always recommend starting with a casual employment contract. Right. And this casual employment contract that I'm going to give you as part of this bundle, I've really tried to look at what is the value of all of this stuff. And I have valued it very conservatively, right? And I think this is worth at minimum $250 should you go to an HR specialist or should you go to an employment lawyer to put this together for you. Then I'm also going to give you 1 times full-time employment contract. Because I know that if you follow the process, things will go well, and then you can take this person on full-time. You might, between casual and full-time, go permanent part-time, right? And then eventually you might go permanent full-time. Now, again, this is probably worth $250, very conservatively priced. If you wanted to do a part-time one, you'll just use this one, the permanent full-time, and you'll just specify what the part-time hours is. Everything else will remain exactly the same. All right. Then I'm going to give you 1 times provisional psychologist job description. Okay. So this is going to set out all the duties, tasks, responsibilities, as well as key performance indicators for your provisional psychologist. And it's all put together in, I think it's like 7 pages off the top of my head, 7-page job description. Now, again, I'm going to value this very conservatively at a minimum of $250 for you to get one of those done. Please know also that all my contracts has been done by professionals. I did not write these myself. I actually paid good money to have it done. And all of these are done through the lens of APRA and through that ethical code lens that we as psychologists need to abide by. All right. Then I'm also going to give you a 30-minute recorded training that I did on Provisional Psychologist. And I did this recording last year for my then Next Level Mastermind group. And it goes for around about 30 minutes, just over 30 minutes, where I actually talked about this topic then already. And I answered a lot of specific questions around having provisionals at your practice. And this, if I look at what I normally charge for one-on-one consults, that is worth $330. Okay. Then I'm also going to give you, and this is the peace dollar resistance, if that's the right word, I'm going to give you a 30-minute consult with myself. Consult with me. All right. And you will be able to claim this 30-minute consult between when you purchase the bundle and the end of April. So you have until the 30th of April 2021 to make use of your consult. And yes, I'm putting a date to this because I do not want you to purchase this bundle if you're not going to use it. Okay. Do not purchase it if you're not going to use it. I want you to buy it. I want you to look at this stuff and I want you to decide that, yes, this is what I'm going to do. And then I want you to come to me, book it in, bring a freaking list of questions and ask me everything you need answered in order for you to bring on your first provisional psychologist. You can literally bring them on board in 2 to 3 weeks. Easy done. Okay. So I'm going to give that to you. And that is valued, what did I do? Valued at $330. Okay. Then I'm also going to give you a FAQ list or sheet. Let's call it a sheet. So I've already started writing up an FAQ sheet. Like, what is those questions that people normally ask me when it comes to provisional psychologists? Obviously, I'm not including the stuff that I answered in that 30 minutes recorded training over here. But what I am going to do every time over here, when I hop on a phone consult with somebody that purchased the bundle, if they ask me a question that's not included in the other information, I'm going to add that question onto this FAQ sheet. And at the end of April, I will email out an updated FAQ sheet to everybody who has purchased a bundle. This way you can make sure that, you get that question answered that you maybe did not think about answering, right? We all know that we don't know what we don't know. And depending on what level, what size your private practice is at, whether you can offer in-house or external supervision, there's a lot of logistical and operational stuff that comes into it. There might be questions that can be helpful for your journey in 3 months, 6 months time, right? So I want to put that all together for you guys. We really want to do this well. Okay, then we're still not done. Then what I'm going to give you is 1 times, what do we call, let's call it an employment package outline. And that is an employment package outline for 4+1 provisional. And then I'm going to give you 1 employment package outline for a 5+1. Now I'm thinking, I don't know, what is that worth? Let's say $150, right? That I'm going to give you. So that's going to basically set out for you what is the basic salary that we pay at my practice for a 4+2. Okay, and it's going to be the same for the 5+1. What's the basic salary, leaf loading, super, PD budget, tech budget. What else is in there? I don't know. like these are all the stuff, and this is the salary. Then I'm going to list a couple of other costs that you want to think about. Then I'm also talking, there's a little section on how many clients need to see at a set price point in order for you to break even, and then how many clients they would need to see per week and per day at a certain price point in order to make just over $26,000 profit. And I'm doing that for each of those. And I'm also sharing with you what that price points are. That is what we charge our provisional psychs out as. So I'm really trying to make it as easy as possible for you to see how you can ensure that you not only break even, but make a profit on this role in a way that does not burn them out. Okay, please, let's be clear here. This is not set up in a way that's going to burn out this provisional psychologist. This is done in a really well thought out way. And that's why it's not $100,000 profit that you can make on a provisional, right? They are not money spinners in your practice. But I think 26K profit on one position, that's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. I mean, imagine if you've got 5 provisionals times 2, that's $100,000, right? And it's 5 people that you help into the profession. How amazing is that? So that's what's going to be in those 2 employment packages. So how much is that? I really should have worked this out beforehand. Okay, so if we work out how much total value this is, this comes to 1,710 in terms of value. Now, the thing that we have not considered is the value of your time and your energy. And really, time is money that you would need to invest in researching this, getting it drawn up by a lawyer, checking through all the stuff, putting it all together. I'm thinking this time, energy, and that money investment, that's really priceless, right? Really priceless, especially in time, but also, actually, more importantly, let's use a different color here, confidence. Confidence in knowing that you are using something that has gone through my personal filter as a long-term group private practice owner, right? I'm a psychologist first and foremost. I know the APRA rules and regulations. I know the ethical code, and I'm also a business coach and mentor. So I think I know what I'm doing, right? So you can really trust what it is that I've put here together. Is it perfect? Probably not. I would like to think so, but probably not. I do not promise perfection, but what I do promise is a well thought out way of bringing on provisional psychologists. So this is what I'm going to offer you. I mean, what am I doing? Minimum value, if we actually had to attach a dollar amount to this, is $1,710. I'm going to make the provisional psych bundle available for only $997 plus GST. Okay, that's what it's going to be for you guys. It's like almost half price, and we have not even considered this part that goes into it. Now, if you can imagine, if you invest $997, okay, $1,000 with GST, just over $1,000 with GST into this bundle, and you actually take action, okay, and you hire a provisional psych within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and you can make $26,000 profit on this role within the next 12 months, and you can help so many more people from your waitlist, and you can help somebody to become a psychologist. How amazingly cool is that? Okay, I'm making it as easy as possible for you. By all means, sign up. Get yourself a bundle. There is going to be a limit on the bundles because of this section here. Because there is a 30-minute consult with me, and I can only do so many of those in my already busy weekly schedule, and all of this needs to happen by the end of April. I'm thinking I will probably limit it to 10, 12 bundles, and that is not a lot. So if you're interested, first in best dressed, come and join me in this amazing pursuit of bringing provisionals into your group private practice and helping them into the industry. And together we can help more people in better ways. So you should be finding the link to purchase your bundle somewhere here, depending on whether this is a Facebook post or an email or wherever. What will happen once you have paid, you will get an email directly from us. Please check your spam, promotions, or other, what's it called, junk folders. The reason why it sometimes land in there is because it's an automated email and your firewall picks up on the fact that it is automated. So it's assumed it's somebody sending you marketing materials, right? And it goes, you probably don't have the time to read it. So please always check those folders, because it will probably be automatic, but we normally say give it 5 to 7 minutes. You should be receiving your email. There will be a link to a Dropbox folder that has all of this stuff in it. And in that email, you will also find a link to my online calendar. I suggest going in there as soon as you can, even if you book it for that last week of April. We know how busy your diary gets. My diary is also very, very full. So get that booked in, because I would love to talk to you as well and help you in this process. Alrighty, I'm going to love and leave you. Have an amazing rest of your day. And remember, consider taking on a provisional psychologist so that I can help you build a private practice you cannot stop smiling about. Bye for now.